Today we're gonna continue focus working on Meerkat. Um, in today's video, we're just gonna do the checking for Active Directory and trying to see the network status and network traffic function. So we're gonna start off with checking if there is Active Directory. So we can write a function. That function can be called so the way we're going to check if there is Active Directory, if the computer is a part of the domain, is we're going to try to run commands. So basically, when a computer is part of a domain and there's an active dictionary on it, where you need certain modules and certain true or false statements to use Active Directory. So you can test for if you have a module, you need certain modules to interact with the Active Directory. So you can check if you have those. You can also check if the folders you have shared on the network, and then write a command to see if it's even a part of a domain, which is I think a better way of doing it. But so we're gonna write try and a catch function, and you can say test computer secure channel. So what this command is going to do is it's going to try to see if the computer can connect to the domain in a secure way. So if there's not a domain, this command will fail. It can also fail even if there is a domain, but that's only if, the channel is not secure. If there's not really good security, but that doesn't really happen. So we're just going to use it as, just to see if there is a domain and if we can connect to it. We can also say get AD domain. So this is self-explanatory. It's going to try to get the Active Directory domain, and it'll just print out the name. And then in the catch, we can see, if one of these commands gives us an error, then we'll know that, there's no domain. Therefore, the chances of it being in an Active Directory are, very low. So we can print out no Active Directory. And then, as I said earlier, we're going to check if there are any shared folders on the network that we could access. So this isn't really checking if there's an Active Directory true or false. It's more like it returns the folders and files that are shared to us. For a normal computer, it's still going to return some output. If there are multiple users on a computer login, it's just going to say, guest, admin, and other users you may have on your computer, which, indicates that, just one single computer. But if there are, like, multiple folders or files with a certain name, or if you just see, like, domains or a bunch of users in the shared folders, then it serves as an indicator that this computer is not really isolated. It's with other computers. So it's going to return that. If there is no SMB share, we can just write same as Active Directory. So no share. Alright, so then for the last one, we're gonna return a true or false statement. I think this one is gonna seal the deal because it's more it just gives you a yes or no if there's a domain or not. So I asked ChatGPT, I'm like, what's one way we could see if a computer has a domain, and it came back with this response. Now, a lot of people say don't use ChatGPT when you're coding. Uh, what I say is, I think you should use your resources. I'm not saying use it for the whole program. I'm just saying if you're stuck on something or if you need a certain command to do something, just ask it like, oh, what's one way I can check for applications or specific hardware details on my computer. Uh, I mean, I would not suggest ChatGPT if you're coding for like sensitive code. So if you're doing something on the back end that requires like user input, or if you're getting data from a server or from another network, I wouldn't recommend it then, as it could lead to a lot of flaws, vulnerabilities in code. But if you're just doing a simple project like this, I don't see why you shouldn't use your resources. Right. I always have trouble spelling it. So what this command is going to do is it's just going to return a true or false statement. So we get an object, which is basically a command that just gives us the property of our computer. So we're going to get our computer system, which is basically the computer name, what the network sees is it as on the computer. So if my computer is computer one, say computer one dot part of domain, it's going to see if it is a part of a domain, basically. If it returns true, that means it is a part of the domain, which means that Active Directory, is active. Active. If not, that means that it's not part of a domain. No. And I also want to print out that we are trying to see if checking for active domain, just to like when we're running the program, we can see what it's doing. Yeah, that's basically all for the checking Active Directory. We're not really gonna go into if it is a part of Active Directory, as there's certain tools specifically made for that. So like Bloodhound, or basically other tools you could use that were made for Active Directory, as Active Directory is a way different if you're just on one computer, because there's certain domains and trees that you need to go through, and also depends on the security level that was used when configuring the directory. So the next function we're going to do is to check for the network traffic. Now, if you are admin, you would be able to see the network traffic, but if you are not admin, you will not be able to see the network traffic. What I mean is, we're basically going to make this function, and we're going to make two functions inside this function. We're going to check if our certain PowerShell shell or terminal is running as admin. We're going to check it. If it turns true that we are admin, we're going to sniff the network traffic using a Windows tool. If it's not admin, we're just gonna simply just try to see the status of the network. So what I mean is, if we have multiple interfaces, such as Wi-Fi or Bluetooth or Ethernet, we're gonna get those, and then we're gonna see their status to see if there is network traffic or if there isn't. So if we are admin, we'll see the direct network traffic. But if we're not, then we're only going to be able to see the status. If there is traffic, we're going to say, status is true. If there's not a traffic, status is false. So, like I said earlier, using ChatGPT as one of your resources, or AI as one of your resources, a lot of people look down upon it, but I don't really think you should look down upon it unless you know what you're doing. Like if you just use it for the whole program, yeah. So I asked it. I said, how to check if a current PowerShell terminal has admin privileges. So, and it gave us back this. So what it basically does is it gets the current computer, and it's gonna route for its role. It's gonna ask for its basically role. So you're gonna say, hey computer, what's your role? Are you an admin? Are you a user? Or what are you? If this returns true, it's gonna say run as admin. If it returns false, it's not running as admin. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run this command, and then if it's true, use a admin function. If it's not true, then use a not admin function. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this. If it is true, if we are admin, we're just gonna write admin. We'll make the function right now, and then else we're gonna write not admin. So we're gonna make two functions. So function admin. We're not really gonna focus on the admin part. I will show you how to sniff the network traffic once you are admin, but for now we're not gonna do that. For now we're just gonna make the function for the not admin, because we're gonna make a function later on for a privilege escalation. So I guess we're just gonna check if we already have admin using the privilege escalation function. If not, then we can try to run the privilege escalation and then try to look at the network traffic. Alright. So for admin, I'm just gonna put continue, and if not admin, I'm gonna show you how to see the network traffic if it is admin. I found it really interesting. So if we go to this blog, I'm gonna leave the link in the description. What it basically does is it uses this tool called pktmon, which is basically a Windows service to check and to see the network traffic. The reason I'm referring to this is because you could use other applications like Windows Shark or TCMP dump, or other network sniffing tools, but most networks or most organizations don't really let you install or run those applications, as they're referred to as hacker tools. Windows mostly blocks these certain tools. You download them and it just gets blocked, and then when you see the Windows Defender part, it just says hacker tool. So it's way better if we just use built-in Windows services. As Windows trusts Windows, even though it really shouldn't, but that's just the way the operating system is. So I got this command prompt, which is basically running as an administrator already. So we're going to use the tool, or service, you could say. It's not really a tool, it's a service. So this lists all the interfaces. So it gives us the ID, which we're going to use to run the command on what interface we want to listen to. We have the MAC address, and then we have the name. The name we won't really focus on. We're just going to focus on the ID. For when we want to see the status of the network, we're going to use a name, but we're not going to use this name. We're going to use a different name. So to see the network status, this blog basically just like explains you step by step how to do it. Just start T16. Alright, so I know it doesn't say it here, but the name for this ID is Wi-Fi. That's what I'm currently on, so that's what I'm gonna use, because I know that's active as I'm using the Wi-Fi right now. So we're gonna write the service name. We're gonna write start C, then mode is RT, so real time. We're gonna write the size of the file, which is 16. That's normally the minimum size. So and then we're gonna write --comp, which is basically what interface we want to listen on. So we're going to listen on interface 101, which is Wi-Fi. So we'll run that command. So it starts capturing network traffic. I'll stop it here. So the block also tells you how to read this, as it's not really plain and simple like Wireshark. So we can see here that type Wi-Fi component filter 0. You could add filters to this if you want. The blog tells you a lot about that. Network ID. I want to find one that has an IP. Let me run this again and try to generate network traffic. So it is generating network traffic, but as I see, it's mostly generating IP6 IP addresses, which you could use. So here, I'll just show you on what they're doing. So when you're looking for it, this is the IP dot and then the port. So this IP address is using this port, directing the traffic to another port and a different IP address. So it's port dot using IP port, directing to a different IP with a port. So that's how you can use it. So this is mostly IPv6, as you can see it's not really using IPv4 address, type IPv6. But if it was IPv4, you would be able to see the IP, this is the IP, and then the port, and it's redirecting to the different IP with different port. And basically you can just use this to see what IPs are active and what open ports, which is way better than just pinging the devices and ports, which is what we did last time on the other functions. So that's if you are admin, but we're going to do that in the next video. So if we are not admin, we're going to write current not admin can only check network status. not see traffic. So we will only be able to see if we're able to see the traffic. But if we're not admin, we're only going to be able to see Wi-Fi, is sending traffic, but we won't basically set traffic. So what we're going to do is we're going to use another command, which basically is get net adapter statistics. And what this command basically does is it just gives us the status of the network, just plain and easy, simple. But we're basically gonna write a list called adapters, and we're gonna make this list so we can store the amount of interfaces that we have. So we have, if you can see here, we have Wi-Fi, we have Bluetooth, and then we have 3 more other ones. And we're basically gonna check all those interfaces to see which ones are, sending or receiving network traffic. So we're gonna use a list, and then we're gonna add the get net adapter statistics. Oh wait, not just adapter. As we're not getting statistics yet, we just want the names. I'm gonna select the object. So it is gonna get the network adapters, which is basically just these guys, and we're gonna select the object, which is basically like we're just gonna get the names. We use the extend property as if we don't use this, it's gonna give us the word name and then the name, which is not gonna work. And then for each single one of these adapters, we're gonna use the statistics one to see, if there is network traffic on this one or not. So for each adapter in adapters, so adapters, we're gonna try. So we're gonna get basically a snapshot of the network, and then wait 5 seconds, and then get another Snapchat of the network, and then compare those two. If they're the same, well, there's no traffic being generated as they're both the same. But if they're different, that means that there was a change in the amount of traffic that there's in the interface, which means there's some IP addresses getting traffic. So we're gonna make a variable called before. So we're gonna say get network adapter statistics name, and we're gonna use our adapter better, we just do this. And we're gonna write error action. I'm gonna say stop. If we don't put this, if there is an error, as if there's no traffic or something goes wrong on the command, it's just gonna output a lot of errors. So what we're gonna do is instead of outputting the errors when there is an error, we're just gonna stop the command if there is an error, because then we can just see that the command didn't work. Anyway, right, receive bytes. So what this is gonna do is gonna call the command, put in the name of the adapter. You know, you say Wi-Fi. If it counts as an error, it's gonna stop. And write dot receive bytes. We're gonna see the we're gonna get the amount of traffic. We're gonna get the traffic, and then we can write start sleep, which is basically it's just gonna wait 5 seconds, and then we're gonna write after. So the second screenshot to compare the first bytes to see if there's any change in the bytes. Alright, so after that, we're gonna compare those two. So if after is greater than before, we're gonna write traffic detected on adapter. So if there's traffic on Wi-Fi, it's gonna say traffic detected on Wi-Fi. If there is not a difference between the bytes received before and the bytes received after, we're just gonna write no traffic detected on adapter. Alright. We're gonna write a catch. We're not really gonna write anything on the catch as we already did here. If there is an error, we're just gonna stop the command and just go with the other different adapter. Yeah, so that should be it. Let me show you the this command really quickly though. Maybe it's in PowerShell. So as you can see here, we can get the network statistics. So by receive, by if we put we focus on right Y5, we can see that we can get statistics. The bytes received, to send bytes, basically packages, and then we can use those that output to basically determine what traffic or is being sent. So if we do that again, you can see that this number changed, and we basically use the change. We basically say okay, if there is change, that means there's something with the network. And notice that we didn't really need to run it in admin as the PKT mon other one. On the next video, we are gonna see how if we are admin, we're just gonna use that tool, get the network traffic, and then just put it in a file which we can read. The file is gonna be it's not gonna be a pcap file, which you could use to see traffic in Wireshark and TCMP dump. It's gonna return it as basically like a ELF file, but there are certain ways to convert it as a pcap file so we can see it. But that's basically all. So we just did for not admin. We're just gonna be able to see the network status. But next time we're gonna see if we are admin, we're just gonna capture the network traffic and just put it in a file so we can see it. And we're also we're gonna start doing the just the local machine recon, and then in the end we're probably just gonna do the privilege escalation. I'm not really sure how we're gonna do that, but I'll see what I can do. Yeah, that's basically all.